What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Live Loud Life podcast. My name is Antonio, your host of the Live Loud Life podcast. We hope that you have been enjoying these podcast series. We hope that it's been able to give you some encouragement, give you some valuable information to take into your own life so that you can live a loud life, so that you don't feel limited maybe by aches and pains or strength limitations, so that you feel empowered to do more and to try more and to see what your body's actually able to do to enhance your relationships with other people, so on and so forth, and to be hopefully part of a community that shares a lot of the same values that you do as well. So today we're just going to jump right into it, and I listened to a lot of talks on YouTube. That's what's great about YouTube and just anything. You can find previous lectures or things that have been given in a various of just contexts and different situations. And I enjoy those. It's kind of like a podcast format, to be honest. I just listen to it in the car like a podcast. I don't watch it. I just have it in the background audio. But there is a book that I recently came across, and I apologize now because now that I'm thinking about it, it was Dan Sullivan is, let's say, the co-author, but I'm going to pull it up right now because I want to give the other author credit, Dr. Benjamin Hardy with Dan Sullivan. And the book title is Who Not How. And Dan Sullivan is the founder of Strategic Coach, which I have not been a part of their mentorship. It is a very elaborate mentorship that I do foresee myself taking part of in the near future. But part of it is being able to invest in something has a right place and a time. And we see this with the clients that we come across, with the patients that we come across, because our services are not a kind of standard run-of-the-mill chiropractic and coaching services. We try to go above and beyond and portray more of this quote-unquote coaching service to help you really overcome, whether it's an acute injury that you're feeling, very frustrated by and, kind of broken down by, mentally and physically, or a chronic injury that's been bugging you for a long time that you just feel like you cannot get over that next hurdle or step. And there's a time and a place where we can just tell based on the intake form. It's just like, I just don't think, either we'll be upfront, I don't think you're the right fit for us, but we'll see through that series of course of action, whether it's a busy parent or just a busy individual with work or whatever that is you have to be able to have the right mindset and investment of both time, money and energy to properly go through the series or the program or whatever you want to call it for best outcomes. And if you don't have that, that's okay. Just know that it might not be the right time. And for some of these, I know for me, it is not the right time. In the future, I know there's a time and a place where to go to that next level, something beyond what I'm able to actually just read and pull out myself is going to be needed. But from that, in both the book and in a lecture where I was listening to Dan talk, there was this concept, if you want to call it that, talking about results. And this has been something that I have been trying to understand and figure out in, I guess, my own kind of context or thought process. And I see it both ways. I can see both sides, but it's enjoying the process versus the end result. And this gets talked a lot about in entrepreneurial groups, entrepreneurial coaching, where the emphasis is focus on the process, focus on the day-to-day, and don't worry about the results, essentially is how it kind of comes off. Because if you have an end mindset, then you're not focused on the everyday details of hard work, so on and so forth. And so the process is more important than the end result. And that always not troubled me, but I struggled with it. You know what? I struggled with it a lot. And I talk about this when I'm talking about recovery with patients and clients. And I could see the frustration in their expressions, in their conversation, in their tone, in their affect, if you will. And more recently, what I came across was, well, there has to be results, right? Like if you're going to be putting in all this time and effort without results, then why are you doing it? Some people don't want to just focus on the process. Some people actually want to see some results. And it is the results that motivate you. And this could be, you could have markers, right? You could have marker steps of micro results, if you want to call it that help you determine if you're actually on the right path and direction. So I think that's important. And we do talk about that in our recovery process. We kind of lay it out in a nice kind of chapter model for, just clarity's sake, hey, or phases, if you will, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So it helps give you some clarity based on the results of what you should be expecting and feeling. And when I heard that the other day, and again, I've heard this before in other areas, but it's like one of those things that just click, or again, it was the right place and right time. It made more sense to me because just focusing on the process, you sometimes get lost, not realizing there's a forest to the trees, um, and it just kind of gets muddled, and then everything doesn't become as important, if you will. And again, this is the daily process of always weeding out and bombardment of information, bombardment of advertising, and everything else that's just meant to grab our attention. And knowing where you're trying to aim yourself, aligning with goals, so on and so forth, but understanding that we are aiming for results. We are trying to get you to a point to realize that the process that you're doing day in and day out is actually paying off. And that was a big aha moment, light turning on moment, if you will, for me, because I always struggled with the person that focuses on the end results will never get us, and this is not a comparison sake, right? But it will always struggle more than the person that's married to the process, or devoted to the process. And essentially that means is just it's the daily input of the process of trying to constantly rip off what's needed, to build up on your strengths, reduce your weaknesses, but at the same time, understanding that there are weaknesses that could could be beneficial to focus some time and effort on. And what I like about Dan's work, similar to other things, is they refer to as unique ability. So your intention is to put more time and effort into the unique things that you enjoy doing, and brings you happiness, and also results, right? Because obviously, while we would love to just do everything that we want to be able to do, if you have the model set up where you have all that done and you can just do the things you love, paid or not, that'd be fantastic. But if you were to get paid for it, even better. But that's what we talk about even too, about working out and training. Like oftentimes when we get a parent who's been in a lull trying to get back into it, or someone who's been, we're still somehow on the tail ends of COVID conversations still come up, and people are still, I took off time for COVID. I didn't go back to the gym. I haven't been working out at all. I just want to get back into something. We start with, well, what are the things that you actually enjoy doing? Imagine a world in which you can get all the results that you want based on doing the activities and the things that you enjoy. Now that can happen. There might be some specifics that might limit you. For instance, if you want to get bulky, or more cut, or more definition in your muscles, it's harder to do that with just yoga alone in that sense. But what I wanted to encourage you guys to think about, right, is while the process is important, right? Eat your veggies, drink your water, go to bed, move, walk every day. Right, that's the process. We do want to mark out some results to better understand is if the way you're going about the process is producing the results that you actually want to see. If you're at a great spot and results are not the specific focus, if you will, That's wonderful. Then the results are a maintenance mode. So you're trying to base your results on maybe feel as far as energy, or capabilities of doing all the things that you want to be able to do. And if something else comes up, do you have the strength, the know-how, whatever that might be, to be able to pick that up and go with the flow? So that might be results rather than a specific weight or so on and so forth. So um, trust the process, look for the results, aim for the results, understand the goals of what the results are that you want to be able to, count as milestone markers, if you will, and live loud. Chiropractic and coaching. We hope that we can be a part of that journey, whether just through this conversation of encouragement and motivation and inspiration of understanding those differences, but also a better understanding of a community that is going through the same thing that you are can be done. It feels daunting at time, but that's what's great about seeing others that are actually able to go through that. It's fantastic. And if you would like to work on a one-on-one capacity or situation, where again we've talked about this before, is oftentimes those that we work with, it's not more than anything just about it, or not. There's sometimes no more than what we would do after just a console conversation of just having a conversation such as this, if you are remote through a screen, or if you're nearby, in our office, of just helping you navigate a workshop and having that coach's eye and that outsider perspective to give you an idea of like, hey, it looks like you're going here, here, and here, but you want these results. What if you were to try this path and try this? And sometimes that's all we need. And I've been into that situation before. I've where I've just would reach out for a consult or some coaching from some various coaches that we've worked with in the past. It's just like, hey, I'm kind of stuck on this. Can I get your perspective on it, right? And if you have that ability, that's fantastic, because that can help you just navigate those speed bumps or those roadblocks a lot easier than you trying to hammer it down yourself. And that is something that I am notoriously bad at, and that's why I'm going through this book and trying to break down my own barriers or limitations and beliefs that I have to be the one to do it all. I'm horrible at asking for help. I'm a helper by nature, but I hate asking others for help. I enjoy trying to figure out problems on my own, and there's a benefit to that. I'm not saying that you have to just instantaneously go, but the premise of the book is who, not how. So when a problem arises, who can help you solve the problem? Who can help you get the results that you want to get, rather than asking yourself how? And the tough part about this has been so ingrained in our culture and education that we have been taught from a very early age to think how. Problem arises, how can you solve this, right? I was literally listening to Dan talk about this today, but saying, essentially you were in fact punished if you were to ask for the who question for help, right? When you come across a big problem, rather than thinking, hey, who could help me solve this? That was considered cheating, or you need to do your own work. You need to figure this out on your own. When in reality, this collaborative effort really helps everybody else level up to that next level. And the who, we might be the who to you. There are other who's that we need within my life and where I am at in my time. Realistically, it might be for now more of my issues or burdens are business focused. So I've been working with a business coach. My know-how, at least for what I've wanted for my results physically, I've been reliant on myself for most of it, but I've also reached out to others who have online workouts databases, right? Basically, of just like, hey, I'm just going to pull from this because I don't have any specific goals or markers that I'm trying to get as far as how much I can lift, capacity, so on and so forth. It's more of a maintenance mode, if you will. And I just want to encourage you again to reach out if you're listening to this, or if you're searching health and wellness, if you're searching how to something, which is the infamous question of Google. Start thinking, who can help me get over my back pain? Who can help me deal with this chronic hip issue that I've had? Who would be best suited to help navigate a chronic shoulder injury or a recent shoulder injury that was a result of X, Y, and Z? who can help me manage my aches and pains during pregnancy and help me with a more natural labor delivery, right? So, uh, the how to, I mean, we're a nation of, DIYs and how to's, and I love it. That's what I mean, I love learning new skills. I just these recently, just through sheer curiosity, was disassembling our evaporator or evac cooler to figure out how it operates and works, so that I can manage it and function if it doesn't work, rather than having to instantaneously call. But realistically, based on this might be a solution where I just say, hey, you know what? This isn't my skill set. I need to find who can do this and not how can I figure out how to do this. So I'm still struggling and I'm still going through this to figure out the who, not the how. But if I can be your who and help you become a better, stronger, more able-bodied, more encouraged, more motivated person, then I would love to do that. Whether it's myself, whether it's Nichelle here at Live Loud Chiropractic. Obviously, as you know, Nichelle works with the moms and babies. So if you're a mom to be, mom in the future, preparing. If you're a mom and your kids are older, still applicable. We would love to help you out with any of those concerns that you might have and be that who for you. So thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Live Loud Chiropractic and Coaching, Dr. Antonio. We've had a lull of guests. It's been summertime. We moved into a new house. It's been hard to coordinate, trying to find out, because honestly, a lot of the people that I've wanted to interview, at least locally around here, it's summertime in Colorado. Everyone's getting out. Everyone's going camping. Everyone's going paddleboarding. Everyone's going mountain biking. And I can't blame them. Like, to be honest, and I love having these conversations and chatting with you guys. I'd much rather love to be out on the mountain biking, doing all that stuff. And if I could take this with me and do it on that, then that'd be pretty damn awesome. But till next time, guys, live loud.